this is Jesse Coughlin and welcome to part 3.
Adding Bruno. Now, when we're making his body, we kind of want to think about it in 3D, because this will be where the leg is. We have like the little tail spot, and then we'll have his foot going out kind of like that, meaning his front leg, but we also want little pudge, and you won't be able to see the other half of his front leg, but it will be in front, because he is turning his head, and we'll have to work on this. This might actually be better being moved up a bit, and that will connect to his leg. And then we have his back leg, and he's turning his head to look at us. Again, we're drawing his body, and again, this is the rough draft, so we will be fixing up the lines. This foot needs to be moved over more, and just the proportions need to be corrected. But in this case, we can also add the floof line, and we kind of want to move on a circle where right about here would be the most, and we would want it to leave on a diagonal, and when it goes around the leg, it will be here, like that. And then of course the little fluffy tail would be there. Now it's been months since I last worked on Coffee Bear, but I can safely say that compared to before, I'm doing a lot better at drawing him. Especially since I've only ever drawn with pen, and only this year I really started drawing on the tablet. Like, there's such an improvement, and I'm so happy to see that. Now, I do believe this is very important, so we're briefly going to touch on this. Now, if you weren't here for the countless times that I've said this, I'm going to repeat it. If you were, I'm sorry, you can skip ahead. As someone who's more familiar with a specific type of art, which for me is pen drawing, you want to see my favorite? I honestly don't know what I was doing now, but as someone who's more familiar with pen drawing, or even just using black and white as the base, also brown in this one, trying something new can be incredibly hard and discouraging when you don't get it right away. All my life, I only ever wanted one thing, and that was to become a tattoo artist. I have countless tattoos. Such a weird angle, but yeah, countless tattoos. And that is how I originally got into drawing like this. You've seen both these two and these two in separate videos before, where they're actually still a part of the full page, but I used them for my art book. It was the closest way I could get to tattooing and practicing it, despite being way too young and inexperienced to actually just start on people. Yet sadly, things happen, and I ended up having 2 major surgeries on my hand and my elbow because there's something wrong with my ulnar nerves. I'm still losing feeling in my hand, and I might lose complete feeling one day. And on top of that, I just had to get arthritis, like racking up the points. I don't know. Gotta collect them all. Health issues. But as I'm hardly able to hold a frying pan most of the time, and my hand randomly gives out, I can't feel it if I burn it, or I've pretty much dislocated fingers before because I didn't realize they were caught. I mean, I can still feel the pain. It's just my brain won't really register it unless it's really, really bad, because I won't be able to feel it unless it's really, really bad. But anyways, off topic, trying to learn new things is extremely difficult, especially if you don't get it right away. You will feel discouraged, and you won't put yourself out there and keep at it. Now, I know I'm not Vincent van Gogh of this era, but after 5 years, I think I've gotten to a point where I'm relatively good. Now, I want to point out that there's no such thing as being the best, and there's no such thing as actually being able to achieve that. Especially because some people who you think are better than you at this thing, they have things that other people are better than them at. For me, the entire concept of Dino Dad started because I can't color. When I'm able to follow a strict script, like Skull Kid here, I'm able to do a lot better job because I know what I'm doing. However, I noticed without my glasses, colors are a lot more foggy and duller, and I can't really see them correctly compared to other people, but when I have my glasses, I can see them a lot better. For Skull Kid, I actually used my phone where I took a photo of it and then I color picked what colors were in it, dragged them to the side, used a glass as a paint mixer, and I color matched it like that. However, looking at a color, I can't determine what color it is. It's a very weird concept, and I know that it probably makes no sense, but I am sharing my weaknesses. Don't use them against me. But because of that, I used Dad as a way to start learning to do coloring, and I used complementary colors as a way to limit how much possibilities there were. Using complementary colors, I limited myself to a more strict, fine thing that had rules that I could easily follow because rules help me understand better. Now, in no way am I the greatest, but with Dad, because I used complementary colors, it gave me a stricter starting point where I wasn't overwhelmed by all these different things and I could actually just focus and do it. Because by limiting what I had to use, I limited all the overthinking I always do, because I'm always trying to make it perfect, trying to be the best, despite there's no such thing as being the best, because there's always somebody better than you. And that's not a bad thing, that's a goal to work towards. Now, if you're the best at what you do, you won't have any sense of rivalry, of accomplishment when you finish something, because it's done before. Even if it's not done before to the exact pinpoints, you know that it's nothing new, that there's nothing challenging you to do better. And this entire art account is about trying different things and trying different medias and just learning to do stuff, and if you guys want to join me along the ride, you're welcome to. But that's the thing. For my journey, I really need to limit and set rules and boundaries so I can actually focus and do these things. I'm not sure if it's the ADHD, but we're gonna blame the ADHD for constantly getting overwhelmed by all these different subtopics to a topic, all these different steps to a topic, where it just continuously gets longer and longer until it's just overwhelming. So I'm showing you guys how I personally break things up so I can better understand how to do these things and practice doing these things in a way that works for me. Now, if you look back at how Coffee Dad began in a previous slide how it began compared to now, we've made a lot of improvements from different projects we've worked on. Coffee Bear originally was black and white, but now we're adding color. Despite me hating color and numerously saying that. Now it's 3 days until August, and we started in January, so compared to then from now, that's a long period. But sometimes it will take longer, sometimes it will take shorter. To get to where I am with pen, it took me 5 years. To get to this point with Coffee Bear, it has taken me half of a year, because we started Coffee Bear in January. The first part of Coffee Bear, I'm pretty sure, was out in April, and from April to now, there has been so much improvement because we've been working more and more and practicing more and more, using different techniques and different just methods, and it's worked. Trying new things is always hard, but I guess what I'm trying to say is don't feel discouraged. It takes time, and in the end, it's gonna be very worth it, seeing where you started compared to now, even if it takes a while. Now, Sebastian is enjoying his day, of course, and then Bruno screws up everything. And as per usual, he comes to work, there being a massive mess. Now, of course, I feel like Bruno would have tried making coffee on his own, despite knowing that he does not know how. But as a coffee-loving bear, he would have tried. Now, let's assume he knocked over a bag. Of coffee grounds. Now, again, later we can fix up all the small errors and how things are supposed to actually be angled. Before the slide, however, we could do a couple of action slots where it just shows zoomed in areas of said mess. similar to the panels of him walking into work, him seeing the mess, and then it would show Bruno slowly turning around to Bruno sitting in the middle of everything.